All right, Guru done travel way out here in Arkansas on the banks of the Mississippi River. Traveled across them rice paddies over here in Mississippi yesterday. Dude, the wind was blowing 900 miles an hour. The old truck was just a squalling trying to get across them rice paddies. But anyway, we come out here and brought a big old load of feeders out here, Mr. Lealan, at
Yeah.
Town and Country Hardware in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. If you get on this big long road, it go right through Pine Bluff. Blink, but don't blink real long because if you might miss it.
Yeah. It's not a real big town, but it's big enough.
It's growing though, ain't it?
It's pretty good size. About 45,000 people here.
Shit, if I remember the first time I come through here about, oh God, it had to be 15 years ago. We was going up to the Big Buck Classic up here in Little Rock.
Yeah.
And it was, lady told me, it ain't gonna snow if you come up here. That lie, woman. It snowed. We coming up this road and I was like, they ain't nothing down here but a bunch of flats. Where they go kill no deer out? They ain't no trees out. But anyway, we got out here. And now, Mr. Lealan, you got a feeder quite a while back. How many years you had it?
Oh, man, I've had that thing. It's hard to remember how long. 10, 12, 13 years, something like that. I got it.
Almost as long as I've been in business.
Probably pretty close, yeah.
Are you still using your rag?
Still using the same one, and I've moved it from around 2 different camps and relocated it quite a few times. And
Well, I know you've had to buy a bunch of parts for it, haven't you?
I hadn't bought a part 1 for it.
No parts?
No,
I've moved it in all them times.
No.
Goodness gracious.
No.
I was a crappy businessman. I wanted to sell one in a pile apart or something.
Hey, I dropped it off the trailer and it didn't hurt
I
it.
got you beat. I dropped the whole load off and way up on the trailer in the
Oh,
snow up north and sold all of them. They got a dig or two, but I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, when you're using my feeder, how many acres you got?
About 500 acres that we hunt right now.
Okay. Do you have any other feeders on it?
We do. We have some other feeders. They're
I don't care what the name
plastic.
is. We're not, like I said, told you, I don't care what the name is.
Yep.
I'm not here to bash, these other feeders that's inferior to mine. Other than I'll say that, because I do have the best feed. How do they put the feed out?
They come out through a tube where we have to put a motor on it and have it spin and just spin it out on the ground.
The tubes I call them spouts.
Yeah.
Kind of like a spout, and the deer sticks their nose in there and drags feed out of it.
Yep.
Is that what happens?
Yep. They do.
Now, have you had to replace any of them?
Yeah, we've had to replace a few of them. Had a couple that coons have gotten on top of and just chewed their way all the way through the roto-molded plastic lids and got inside of them, tore them up. We've had to replace motors and spinner systems, of course, batteries.
So how much money you spent on that when you got from my feeder?
Just the initial purchase. That's it.
I can say I'm bad business.
I guess I put a couple of new. I put a bungee cord across there to.
Okay, well, see,
and the sun eventually rots in bungee cord.
So yeah, I got you to spend some money. Now, earlier you told me that you had one of them dreaded varmints called a coon got up in your feeder.
Yeah.
You recall how it happened and what you did to fix it?
Well, the coon, he climbed up a tree and he jumped down on top of the feeder, and it took him a bunch of tries, and he finally figured a way to grab on the side and sling himself up underneath that lid and landed in the tray. And he sat there and he shoveled a bunch of food out on the ground and then got down and ate it. And all I had to do was move it away from the tree.
Okay. You didn't cut the tree down, you just moved the feeder.
Yeah, just move the feeder a little bit.
Well, that works too. I've had a couple people call me and say, hey, I'm getting a coon in my feeder. And I ask people to send me a video. I never hear from them, and 90% of the time that's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
They put, and sometimes they didn't do it on purpose. The trees, they've had, like you said, you had the thing forever. So the tree grows, limbs grow. So sometimes you put it in the right place to start with, but in the end, coon figures it out. Hey, I can climb up that tree. It's big enough now. I can get in that feeder. But now you order some here for your store. We're here, folks, at Town and Country Hardware in Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yep.
I didn't mess up the name of the store.
Nope, Town and Country Hardware, right here on Dollar Way Road.
How long y'all been in business here?
Now, Town and Country Hardware has been in business for 40 plus years, maybe 50 plus years.
Wow.
Now we recently bought it from the previous owners, and keeping the tradition of having a family owned, operated hardware store here in the community.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
No.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I believe in family. I mean, can't have enough of it. But now, are you going to put some? I'm on this flat ass ask you. Are you going to put some of these you bought, put in your store on your property there?
Absolutely. Yep.
What are you going to do with all them other feeders?
As they go out, they're gone. We're gonna get rid of
Yeah,
them.
okay, I believe that. I bet, folks, I'll be willing to bet another load of feeders on it. As soon as he gets them out there, them others gonna be gone.
Some of them, yeah, some of them aren't going. They're not going to get
Let's be
refilled.
honest.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna look at, you're gonna say, well, shoot, I put 400 pounds in that feeder, and I put 400 pounds in that feeder. This here old raggedy feeder,
that's
this
true.
empty, and this one still got feed in it. This feed more deer now. Why am I putting 400 pounds in this? You know, it's
Yeah,
a no-brainer. But anyway, you may not. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I'm just joking
yeah.
with you, Mr. B. You think of anything else that I haven't asked you that you want to add to this?
Yeah, it's almost impossible for squirrels to get in the darn thing too.
Well, I tell people, you know how you keep squirrels out? I figured it out. Don't put squirrel feed in it.
Don't put squirrel feed in
Put
it.
squirrel feed in it. People say, well, I'll put corn in it. Well, that's squirrel feed.
Yeah.
Now, I've had them. We mixed some protein in corn before, and that ain't a good thing either, because
Mm-hmm.
the old squirrel gonna get in there
Yeah.
to get that corn,
Yeah.
and he gonna be like anything else. He gonna rake the protein out on the ground
Mm-hmm.
to get to the corn, and that's the only time we've ever had any real problem.
Yeah. As long as it's not close to a tree, they can't get into it.
Well, I've seen them jump in it, but usually if you put protein pellets in it or something, they don't like. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. You was talking about a while ago about a powder feed that you didn't
Yeah.
use. How does it work in the feed?
So yeah, we use a feed that we sell here called Nut Grub, and it's a powdered. It's a peanut meal.
Peanut meal.
Is what it is. Peanut meal and peanuts in there. So it's a squirrel food.
Well, see. Well, maybe they don't
Squirrels
like
like
powder.
to get in there and get that
Maybe
peanut.
they don't like powder.
Yeah, they like to get in there and get the peanuts. They don't like the powder.
Don't
You're
like
right.
powder.
If we put that in any other type of gravity feeder that has a nozzle, a funnel and a spout, just the humidity will cause those powder to clog up. Same way with rice bran, it'll clog up in those type of feeders.
Now, on rice bran, do you have to mix it with protein pellets or corn to get it to go down through, or can you just put straight rice bran?
I put straight rice bran in there, and it slides down the back of that slot, and I don't have any problem with it.
You put flour in this sucker, it'd work.
You probably could.
Make biscuits out of it. I've had people tell me they put soybeans with the rice bran to get it to go down. I think it was one of the older feeders that. It's about as old as yours. We used to make one that had a real narrow opening between the two chambers.
Right.
Okay. Now the narrowest opening we have is 4 inches. The other one's 5 inches. So that gives it plenty. And not only that, I know what the deer gonna do.
They'll lick up under there and they'll make it come out.
They'll make it come out of there. They're gonna get to that feed. I can't think of a whole lot else except I'm glad to come out here. You could have waited off on the rain. I got to
you brought the rain with you.
Yeah, but I was here early enough. We could have got.
That was that 90-mile-an-hour wind.
Mr. Lealan, he got to go hunting and stuff when I come out.
I did. I was up in the stand this morning.
I was out here in the rain. But hey, I will tell you, folks, he stuck out there in the rain with me. Now he didn't go in there and say, "Hey, when you get done, call me." He was right out there with me. Him and his crew. I tell you what, it was a pleasure working out there. Even if it hadn't been raining, we'd have been much better pleasure. But the rain kind of threw a damper on it.
It did.
But like I told you, we loaded them in the rain. It was fitting we had to unload them in the rain. So, well, I've enjoyed it, and hopefully these work as good as them do, and there's done a lot of improvements on them, and hopefully you like them even better, and you just sell all of them and call me next week, and we'll get you some more.
There you go. I hope we sell them all this week, too.
Mr.